Right now on CBS 42 News at 10, we are racing for the storm. Heavy winds, they're beginning to move into western Alabama. Good evening, I'm Natalie Tejeda. We have teams ready to go in West Alabama, but first, let's take a look at what the storms have done over the last 24 hours. In Tulsa, Oklahoma, the 1,200-mile monster attacked with ice and snow, taking down trees and power lines. And in Monroe, Louisiana, heavy rains and strong gusts of winds took their toll on this Books-A-Million. Thousands are without power tonight. CBS 42's Ted McInerney is keeping a very close eye on the track of this storm and what it will mean to us overnight.
Yeah, Natalie, this storm system is knocking on our door right now. In fact, within minutes we'll be in Marion County, and it will bring in some very high gusty winds. We have live team coverage spawn across all of the CBS 42 viewing area from Hamilton, Melissa Kim, as well as Lee Garner down in Tuscaloosa. We're going to get to them now in just a second, but let's first go right out to our tornado watch that is until 2 a.m. for all the counties you see shaded in purple. That means the conditions are ripe that a tornado could spawn up, but right now I'm concerned mostly about gusty winds that could topple down trees and power lines. You're looking right now live in Marion County right now, where it is in the county. Hamilton just minutes away, as well as Sulligent. You're having a rain shower that are spawning out ahead of this. Now this is where the storm is headed as we put it into motion. It will be pretty much affecting all of us in the next few hours and into the overnight hours. Again, we could see an isolated tornado pop up. As of right now, no severe warnings for thunderstorms, no tornado warnings, just a tornado watch until 2 o'clock. A 3D look here, you can see that these thunderstorms are tall. They have lots and lots of water in them, so we're going to see heavy downpours. A decent amount of lightning, not an intense amount, but there's a lot of lightning. But we do have, again, a very strong line of storms entering into Marion County right now, and that takes us to Melissa Kim, who has been standing out there since this afternoon, checking in with everybody, and they have been bracing for these high winds. Melissa, what's going on out there right now? What's the changing conditions?
Hey, Ted, well, the rain has been kind of on and off all night, but has picked up significantly in the past 5 minutes or so. But the biggest thing here in Hamilton has been the wind. I want you to take a look at this behind me. This is in front of Hamilton Middle School. This is their Christmas tree display. And school officials even heeded our warnings, tied it up here with this wire, but unfortunately the tree has succumbed to Mother Nature. And we'll continue to monitor the situation out here in Hamilton and bring you updates when they are available. For now, we're in Hamilton. We're live in Hamilton. I'm Melissa Kim, CBS 42 News. Back to you.
And you can already see that rain was starting to come down on Melissa Kim, so do be very careful. Now, we know that many of you may not want to stay up with us tonight to follow the storms, but if you do plan to go to bed, make sure that your weather radio is plugged in with fresh batteries. Also check to make sure you have it programmed correctly for your county. If you're not sure how to do that, shoot over to our website. There you will find the video with meteorologist Mark Prater. He will show you step by step how to program your radio. If you don't yet have a weather radio, your next best option is to get mobile alerts. You can get those on your cell phone or tablet with our CBS 42 app. You can download it through the App Store or through the Play Store for Android devices. You can stream our weather coverage live. You can also report problems or damage in your area through the Report It feature. Now, when using Report It, here are a few things we need from you to make sure to get the most out of your submission. Please tell us where you are. It's important for us to know which city you're in and on what street where you see the problem. Snap a picture and then attach it to the email. This will help us keep your community better informed. And finally, please include your name. We want to ensure credit is given on air and online. And one last note. Please do not put yourself in any danger. Stay out of severe weather and away from any live power lines. No report is worth your life. Our Lee Garner has been keeping her CBS 42 weather app at her fingertips, and she's joining us now live from Tuscaloosa. Lee, what are you seeing so far out there tonight?
Well, we've been in contact with the Tuscaloosa County EMA, and you know that they are going to be on top of this weather event. They've been having regular weather briefings with the city of Tuscaloosa for the past couple of days, and today I was keeping an eye on the weather out there myself. Let me tell you guys, it has been overcast in Tuscaloosa all day, but the more interesting thing than that is how hot it has been, just unseasonably warm out here in Tuscaloosa. You've been seeing people walking around in t-shirts and shorts, even flip-flops, right here in the middle of December. Now, as we have got gotten later on into the evening. I will say that we've just really recently started to see a small splattering of rain, really not that heavy yet, but the main thing that we've really noticed out here is how the wind has been picking up. It started probably right about after lunch, and it has only gotten stronger, so we're definitely going to be keeping an eye on that. We know that people out here in Tuscaloosa are definitely interested in seeing what's going to be happening with the weather. For now, we're going to send it back to you, Natalie.
And thank you, Lee, for keeping your eyes on that. North Alabama and Tennessee, they've seen the beginnings of this storm. Our Chris Womack was on the road earlier tonight and drove through it. He joins us now by phone. Chris, what did you see and how are the conditions now where you are?
Well, Natalie, I was driving from Murfreesboro, Tennessee, west towards Nashville on I-24, and the rain and wind got too heavy, and I had to pull off on Harding Place Drive, which is just east of Nashville. And when I pulled off, there were several people doing just the same. I pulled over to a gas station. At one time, there were about 15 of us all huddled inside, and the wind was so strong, somebody had to man the door because every time somebody was let in, the wind tried to blow the door and keep it open. There were 3 trash cans that were splayed all about the parking lot. Right now, the rain has died down just a bit, but there is a lot of lightning going on, a lot of real high lightning, no real single bolts. In fact, a flash just happened right now. The wind's still pretty strong, but it seems like the worst of it has passed me at this point.
All right. Well, that looks like the good news for drivers in that area. So, again, if people are on the road, just, I guess, be very careful out there. Thank you so much, Chris. We appreciate that. But high winds, miserable conditions here and around the country, they are impacting flights at the Birmingham Shuttlesworth International Airport. Right now, 5 flights have been delayed. 2 of those flights will not arrive until later tonight. United Airlines 4350 out of Houston will not arrive before 1 a.m. Southwest Airlines flight 4243 out of Las Vegas will not land before 2:30 a.m. If you're expecting anyone tonight, you can track their progress at flybirmingham.com. Switching gears now, we have breaking news out of Shelby County. We have reports that a SWAT team has been called to a home on Chandelar Lane in Pelham. Now, this is a live video taken from outside the home by photojournalist Toby Carter. We're told a man has barricaded himself inside. This is just down the street from Pee Wee's Pawn Shop on Highway 31. Of course, we'll update you as soon as we will have more information on this situation. 4 people, they are recovering tonight after an explosion at an industrial plant in Pinson earlier today. Battalion Chief Lonnie West says the call came through as an explosion, but when crews arrived, there was no fire. 4 employees were taken to UAB Hospital to be treated for their injuries. The incident happened at the Pinson Valley Heat Treating Company just off Sunrise Drive. Also tonight, just days before Christmas, a family is mourning the death of a 1-year-old boy. He died of smoke inhalation during a fire at his home on North Church Street in Piedmont last night. The child was staying with his grandmother, who tried several times to get into the room to save him. It appears a space heater is the cause of the fire. Fire investigators in Birmingham are also trying to figure out what killed a man found inside a burned-out barbershop last night. Fire crews were called to the Powderly Hills barbershop around 10:30. They found a man inside. The owners of the building tell us it was the barber who was inside at the time of the fire. The shop has been in the area for more than 60 years.
Kind of takes a part out of you because, you know, it's a big part of my life. You know, my father started it. It's kind of like a legacy is gone.
Caldwell tells us the barber worked at the shop for about 10 years, was a very close friend. At this time, the cause of the fire is still under investigation. Friday was one of the more violent days we've seen across the CBS 42 viewing area in quite a while, and unfortunately the violence has spilled into today as well. This was the scene around 3 this afternoon at the intersection of 33rd Street, Ensley, and Avenue E. Police responded to a call of a person shot. When they arrived, 22-year-old Quinton Long had already passed away. Investigators say he was shot at a nearby apartment complex and died in his car. There are no arrests in this case. Also tonight, a birthday party ended in bloodshed at an event hall in Center Point Parkway. 1 person was shot and killed, 2 others stabbed after a large fight broke out. Investigators don't have a lot of leads, but they are asking for your help in tracking down a person of interest in this case. His name is Marcus Gerald White of Birmingham. He's about 6 feet tall, weighs 225 pounds. Anyone with information about White is asked to call Crime Stoppers at 205-254-7777. A Birmingham family can rest just a little bit easier tonight knowing a man is behind bars for the murder of their son. 37-year-old Brandy Davis is now in the Jefferson County Jail. He's accused of shooting 37-year-old Terry Towns back on November 19th. He's being held on a $75,000 bond. We now know the name of a police officer from Center and 2 other people who died in a collision yesterday afternoon. The state trooper's office tells us Jeffrey Bryant was killed when his cruiser was hit head-on in Cherokee County. The car that hit him was being driven by 24-year-old Charity Brewster. She lost control and overcorrected while traveling on Alabama 35 outside of Galesville. It was her overcorrection that caused her to swerve into the oncoming lane of the patrol car. She and her son Scott were killed in that collision. Funeral arrangements are now finalized for a mother of 4 killed in an explosion earlier this week. Family members of Tyrese Mabry will meet visitors Monday afternoon from 4 to 6 p.m. at the New Gardendale Funeral Home. The funeral will be held on Tuesday at 11 a.m. A burial will follow at Elmwood Cemetery. And a local radio station is pitching in to help the family, as well as others displaced by that explosion. Radio station Hot 107.7 will be accepting donations of household goods and cash tomorrow afternoon. They will be setting up outside the Eastwood Walmart on Montclair Road from 1 to 7 p.m. And hey, we actually have some uplifting news for you this evening. We talked to some small business owners about the importance of getting last-minute shoppers in the door. And the bowl season, it's already begun. Patrick previews Alabama's Sugar Bowl matchup in sports.
And the squall line we've been tracking all week is now entering the state. Find out what threats that means for you and your families in the overnight. That's next in your full weather forecast.
Hey, welcome back. Trussville's loss is Bessemer's game. Steyr Arms says it will start the new year in a 33,000 square foot complex in Bessemer. The new facility includes more room for its warehouse and manufacturing. There's a firearms testing range and a showroom for guns. The company got its start way back in 1864 in Austria. And whether it's a new gun or something quite different, there's a good chance you can find last-minute gift ideas at any small business near you. Small businesses, they're really counting on your dollar to help them get into the black by year's end. Slow sales this weekend could translate into owners having to close their doors for good.
It's everything.
Chatham Helmers has owned Charm on 2nd Avenue North for over 4 years. Each year, her holiday sales go a long way to keeping the doors open.
It pays for my rent for about 6 months. It gets everything that's been in arrears caught up, and it gets me a trip to New York to buy for spring.
It's a similar fight for many small retailers in the Magic City. Harold and Maude is in the midst of its first holiday season. The store has faced some difficulty to remain open, but made it happen during this critical period.
In the last couple of months, we've been in 4 different locations, and we've been doing everything we can to open up for this season, and so we're really excited to be here now. This is what is going to set us up for a win in the new year.
So what keeps customers away from the big box stores and shopping with the local guys?
Customer service.
Peter Carvinen has owned Faith Skate Supply for 18 years. He says the key to success as a small business is to offer a smile.
We have a lot of loyal customers. Being there for them, it means the world. You know, it's not just, like Walmart or somewhere where you load up and you just check out. We're here for the long run, for the customer too.
And it's not just for the customer. These businesses are here for each other as well.
And we're all friends down here, so it's kind of fun to promote people who you like.
And it's not just shoppers getting into the Christmas spirit. Today, some furry four-legged friends got their holiday on by getting Christmas pictures with Santa. The group Canine Special Services invited me to help out at their fundraiser at Hollywood Feet on 280. Every pup and even some humans loved getting a pic with Santa, and all the money goes back to training police, service, and therapy dogs. And you know what's great about being a dog, Ted? They leave the worry. And right now, I know a lot of people are very, very worried about the weather. You guys have been tracking the storm all week. It is here. How are things looking?
Well, right now we're looking live in the city of Hamilton up there in northwest Alabama. We have Melissa Kim and Nick Gulis, our photographer, up there. They just had this shot, and it was raining cats and dogs. You see lots of lighting. It tapered off a bit, but that's going to pick up again here. Again, this is a live shot up there. They've tied down their Christmas tree, and if you haven't done that yet, you got minutes to do that pretty much, because we're going to have high winds moving through the Birmingham metro in the overnight hours. Let's go live. live right now with our Titan 3D radar. We have Chief Meteorologist Gene Norman tracking this storm moving through Haleyville. Some of the times you can see here moving through Hodge at 10:15, Hamilton at 10:20, Sulligent at 10:28, and Phil Campbell got struck by that tornado just 3 years ago. That's 10:40. You can see that storm system moving out. The tornado watch is in effect in all the area in purple until 2 a.m. That means the conditions are right for a quick spin-up tornado, but I'm more concerned about damaging winds with a squall line. So this is the breakdown here on our storm threat. Tonight through daybreak, damaging wind gusts, again, the primary threat with a few isolated tornadoes possible, definitely weakening as we go through the night. Also, with this storm system stalling out a bit and all the leaves clogging some urban storm drains, we could be looking at some locally heavy rainfall that could cause some flooding. So here's Titan 3D radar. We just showed you Hamilton. This line, the squall line, is now moving into the area. Let's go into our 3D mode here where you can see how tall these clouds are. They have a lot of rain with them. They have a lot of lightning, and they are now moving in perfectly as forecasted by TitanCast this week. And right about this time period, last 2 or 3 days, it's been saying it's going to come in right about 10 o'clock, and here we are. High clouds, or high thunderstorm clouds moving into the area. So it's all part of this massive squall line that's now moving into Alabama. It was causing lots of problems along the Mississippi Valley, but now it's focused on us. It did produce a tornado warning in the city of Nashville. That's where you heard from Chris Womack. But the problem is this low pressure system is way far away from the system, and that's actually the powerhouse to the entire storm system. So the farther away it is, the weaker the storm system is for us. It doesn't mean that we aren't going to see any severe thunderstorms. Our exclusive TitanCast shows that front moving in. 1 a.m. getting very heavy through Fayette, Jasper. Now 3 a.m. the leading edge will be those wind gusts, and that'll be moving through Birmingham Metro. It might get in here a little bit sooner than this because that storm system has definitely sped up. Moving through East Alabama by daybreak, and then we're drying out as we head in to the afternoon. The severe storm threat, again, primarily is damaging winds, but we can't rule out an isolated tornado. As far as our extended forecast goes, 67 degrees for Sunday. We're looking at 51 degrees on Monday. Hey, Christmas Eve, though, we're going to have lots of sunshine, but it's going to get very cold overnight. We're going to be 46 for the high, and for Santa Claus, how about 26 degrees? We'll have sunny skies on Wednesday, and for the rest of the week, staying calm. But we're focused right now tracking the storm. I'm here with Chief Meteorologist Gene Norman. We've been tracking the storm system, and it's coming in just as we were talking about.
Yeah, you know, Ted, and the thing that people need to remember is that even though we don't see any tornadoes right now, we can't rule that out. There's a tornado watch in effect until 2 a.m., and it's the leading edge of these storms that is just now entering West Alabama that has the best chance to produce a brief spin-up tornado. But like you've been saying, and like we've been hearing already, the strong winds out there, up to 40, 45 miles an hour, could easily knock down trees and could produce some isolated power outages. So people need to be prepared, stay aware. We'll be with you all night long tracking these storms, and if there are warnings for tornadoes issued, we will cut in and keep you updated. So we're going to be on it all night long.
Yeah, just stay away from doors and windows tonight. And nocturnal storms are always the most dangerous, as we know. So
there's never a good time to have severe weather, but night is the worst because
Yes,
you're sleeping, you're not really paying attention. That's why you need to have that weather radio ready and get those text alerts if you haven't already signed up for them.
Absolutely. You can follow us on Twitter at Ted McInerney, at Gene Norman WX, and we'll be tracking this all night long, guys.
All right, thanks, guys. Patrick Claiborne joins us now with what's making news in sports.
And we've got the bowl season. It's finally underway. We're working our way towards the last bowl game when Auburn will try to make it 5 straight national championships for the state of Alabama. It would be the 8th straight championship for the Southeastern Conference. Be the first time since the very first BCS title game that it's ACC against SEC. The whole conference thing just means squat to Jimbo Fisher, the head coach at Florida State. He's familiar with the league, but likes his team.
I coached in the SEC 13 years, and I know the good and the bad. I know the propaganda and the truth. So I've been in it. It's a great league, great coaches. They love it. But, you know, we build our team not based off an SEC team. If it's like some of them, that's great. But we build one that we think what will win us a championship.
Coach called it propaganda. The Noles averaging 529 yards per game this season on offense. Earlier this week, we heard A.J. McCarron's motivation coming into the Sugar Bowl. He said the Tide are still thought of by some folks as the best team in the country. They can help solidify that against Oklahoma. But what do the Sooners think of the Crimson Tide?
I honestly believe we're playing the best team in the country, and I think everyone else knows that as well. So we're preparing hard, and we're up for the challenge.
Clay also said this week he thinks they can run for 5 yards a carry against the Crimson Tide defense. Well, folks, the first bowl game was a fun one. They were cooking in the New Mexico Bowl in Albuquerque. Jim McElwain's Colorado State team down 8 in the final minutes. Kapari Bibbs goes into the end zone, so they're down 2. Coach wants 2 points because that would tie the game. The Statue of Liberty play. It's Donnell Alexander diving for the pylon. Did he get in? Video indicates that he did, so they tie the game. Then the ensuing kickoff, Washington State fumbles, sets up a game-winning field goal. That is good. Colorado State kicks off the bowl game season with a game-winning kick, 48-45. Still ahead, folks, we got all kinds of hoop action, including the UAB Blazers trying to continue a win streak in Baton Rouge. That's on its way next. The CBS 42 News at 10 continues. And we're back on CBS 42 News at 10. The first Steel City Invitational, as good a holiday hoops tournament as there ever could be. The final game tonight pitted Parker against Ramsey. It was an all-Magic City final in the Steel City final. Rams looking for what would be an upset if they get the win tonight in the first. Albert Luke trying to go down low, kicks it out to Jonathan Etheridge, knocks down the triple. Rams were at their best behind the three-point line tonight, but check out Parker's Alante Johnson. He's been on fire this whole tournament. Drives down, no-look pass to Trayvon Smith, the easy finish there. Ramsey head coach Kelly Cheatham wants his team to do whatever they can to try to slow down Johnson, but it just doesn't happen. Johnson, again, the hard drive, finishes with the right hand. Parker wins 64-46. Markel Oliver, your first Steel City Hoops Tournament MVP. Coming into today, the UAB Blazers were pushing towards the top 25 in the country. Number 5 in the country in rebound margin, number 1 rebounds overall. A win in Baton Rouge would do wonders for the ranking in the RPI of the UAB Blazers. Coach Hass and the Blazers in the PMAC down in Baton Rouge. They came out running against LSU. Chad Frazier to the 10 finishes with the left hand. They would hold up early, but the problem was LSU and how they shot the basketball. UAB shot 30% from the field for the game. LSU shot almost 60% from the three-point line. The Tigers were deadly in the first half. Andre Stringer was 3 of 4 from 3 in the game. UAB falls 86-63. And Anthony Grant and the Crimson Tide at home against Xavier tonight. Early on, it was the Shannon Hale show. Check this out. Shannon Hale steps back for 3. That's good. Alabama leading 22-14. He had 10 points at the half. And then here comes Levi Randolph. He's behind the line for 3. That's good. Alabama would lead 33-26 at the half. Second half now, Alabama up 2. They had trouble stopping this guy. Matt Stainbrook with 2 and 1 right there. Xavier takes the lead. Then later on the break, this bucket is good by D. Davis. Xavier gives Alabama another loss at home. They fall 77-74. And folks, finally, it's not quite an Olympic act, but it's sure to make you smile. That's jolly old St. Nick on a knee board. Mr. Claus closed out last night's boat parade on the Coosa River near Wetumpka. He's got a lot of work to do, but he has time to do this to celebrate. Thanks to our sister station in Montgomery for sharing the video. Santa's got moves.
Santa's got some skills right there.
He's very good at that. He's better at that than I am.
Yeah, I've tried to wakeboard before. Not very good at all. I eat more water than Santa's definitely got some moves.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, thanks so much, Patrick. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Just want to update you on what's happening right now in Hamilton. Just showing you up here. Just a second ago, the winds were whipping so hard at the flagpoles that they were standing straight out. They've kind of died down. But really what's happening right now is the rain. If you can kind of hear it in the background. I just want to show you the main street here. This is where 278 and 43 run along the main road in Hamilton. Obviously, you can see the rain just pushing all over the street. There's lots of standing water. So definitely do not come out here if you don't need to. Sending it over to you now, Ted.
Well, thanks, Melissa. We're looking at that storm system, and that just showed how powerful that storm system is. It's not a severe thunderstorm. However, it is producing a lot of rainfall, and you can see the gusty winds. So if you're out in Marion or northern Lamar County, as far as Winston County, you want to stay off the roadways tonight or just for a little while. It's a fast-moving storm, so Marion County, you should be clear in the next hour or two, probably about 2 hours. Here's the leading edge of that storm for Hamilton, and you can see the dark red, the very heavy rain, and ahead of that line is where we're going to see those wind gusts. I think we might have a shot down from Lee Garner and Will Raines down in Tuscaloosa. If we could pull that shot up whenever you guys get a chance. There is some rain moving through the area, but this is not a part of that leading edge of that squall line that we've been watching. Again, we're under a tornado watch until 2 a.m. Here we are in Government Plaza in downtown Tuscaloosa. You can see the rain coming down. Not nearly as powerful as you saw with Melissa Kim and Nick Goulis up there in Hamilton and Marion County. However, the rain's coming down. Temperatures are still up, and we definitely have ingredients for severe weather. That's why we are under that tornado watch until 2. Now, that squall line I'm most concerned about is with damaging winds. So that means you need to stay away from doors and windows. And it's for all these counties you see here shaded in purple until 2 a.m. That does include Birmingham, Gardendale, Aniata, Coleman, Hamilton, Sulligent, Fayette, as well as Tuscaloosa into Utah. And again, this storm system will move all the way through the state throughout the overnight. Birmingham between 2 as well as 3 a.m. So that's in the middle of the night. So make sure your NOAA weather radios are ready to go. Here again is a clean sweep coming in from Titan 3D radar, now passing through Hamilton. You just saw with Melissa Kim, we had that shot again. It was a great shot there of the pouring rain, and we actually have flooding, actually small flooding on streets, just standing water. Here we are. You can see that rain moving across the downtown streets of Hamilton. They have tied down their Christmas tree because they've been listening to the weather reports because they want to have a great holiday there, and they can put that back up tomorrow, but you can see the winds are gusting. We're seeing the rain really coming down here. We're going to continue to track this storm as it moves through. You can see cars splashing through that, and we're going to continue tracking this all night long. I'm here with Chief Meteorologist Gene Norman manning the radar. Mark Prater will be in shortly, and as you can see here, the rains are moving in on a squall line as they move into West Alabama. They'll eventually again get into Birmingham between 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, and that's again going to bring what you just saw in Hamilton. Gusty winds, heavy rains, and some standing water on roadways, especially in low-lying areas because of all the foliage that had fallen off the trees, blocking some storm drains that could cause some localized flooding. Again, we're tracking this storm. We're going to continue to do it every 30 minutes here on CBS 42. So stick with us here and on CBS42.com and on Twitter at Ted McInerney as well as at GNormanWX. And now that's our CBS 42 News at 10. We'll be with you all night long.